now all I have left to do is fly. So I'm going to start recording, and let's get this guy up in the air. You can see all the setup I've got on for the stick cam. And just like that, we're rolling. So welcome back to Inverted Aviators RC. We've got a beautiful day for flying here. It is about 56 degrees, and I found this really nice wide open park. So I'm going to take full advantage of it because it is awesome out here. The fun thing is there's got these two like floodlights in the middle, which are fun to fly around. But the point of the video today is to, one, show off the Conscendo again, because it's super duper fun to fly and just glide around, which is what I'm going to try to do here. But also, we want to go over what our kind of tentative plans are with the channel and like what planes we're going to work on and what we're trying to really do. So we'll start with the Conscendo. We want to fly it a little bit more just because it's finally getting nice out. So we want to use this plane to its full capabilities, meaning we want to just show it off, glide around. I want to get really good at gliding because it's super satisfying when you got a nice glide, and I haven't caught a thermal yet, but when that eventually comes, that's probably going to be cool. But I want to see how long I could glide if I fly up pretty high and then just kill the motor completely. How long can I glide before touching down? That'd be kind of an interesting video, probably a lot of time lapses there, but it just feels like it'd be an interesting thing to get good at. But also, if there's some sort of ELRS or extra long range signal, I think, 2-channel receiver, I could probably add a head tracker of some sort onto this, and it'd be really interesting to look around while you're gliding, because gliding, most of the time, you're not doing a whole lot with the sticks unless you're trimming things out, but that just seems like it'd be a really cool addition to make, especially to a glider like this. So I'm going to try to punch up here just to get a little extra altitude so I can keep gliding. Look how easy it glides. But that's one plan with the Conscendo. Let's see, is this safe on or off? That is safe on. Okay. So yeah, that's one thing to do, is just see how long we can glide. And then moving planes, a few videos ago we did a how to put flaps on the F15 Eagle. And we've had a few comments saying that flaps are awesome, but it needs rudders. And we agree completely. Rudders are really cool, especially on a jet. So we want to add rudders onto the Eagle. And I shouldn't mention, usually I cut these videos and put the chapter by flights, but on this one I'm going to put the chapters by what plane I'm talking about. So if you're curious and you really just want to skip to whatever plane that's next on the agenda, just feel free to check out the chapters, and that should be just how it's done. And so what else? For the F15 Eagle, putting rudders, and if it's possible to put really small landing gear, or there's something that makes the gear go up and down, that'd be really, really cool. I did that in real flight, actually. I found somebody online who knew how to do that, and I worked with them and figured out how to put retracts on the Eagle, and it looks so cool. I want to do that in real life because, I mean, simulators are cool, but it's not quite real life. What else with the Eagle? Just a thought, wouldn't it be cool if there's some sort of thrust vectoring? Since it's an EDF, it's got it's got two ports where the air comes through. Wouldn't it be cool if there's some sort of servo-controlled little flaps that would push the air in certain directions to give a sort of thrust vector? Just an idea, just to throw that out in the universe somewhere. That'd be kind of cool thing to do. Let's see, that's probably all with the Eagle, at least off the top of my head. Moving on to maybe, let's see, the Timber X, which I've flown it a few times. I don't know if I've done it on this channel yet, but the Timber X is like the UMX Turbo Timber Evolution's big older brother. It's a 1.2 meter, it's green, it's super flippy. You can do full wing ailerons, and it's really, really fun to fly. And I don't think I've done it for this channel yet. Or actually, it's in our intro. It's when you're looking to the side and the flaps go down. That's the Timber X. But just flying that one a little bit more and getting used to how flippy and crazy you can be with a plane, that's always sounds like fun. So just getting that one into the air. I don't know if I can add anything to it. Probably a nicer camera or something to record the video better. But yeah, that's kind of all there is for the Timber X. We've got the IA Evo, which for a while that was my fascination, which it still is. Just probably making an update video, since the last time it flew was really tail heavy, which made it annoying to fly and kind of difficult. But I've updated it. I've stripped out the 8-channel receiver. I took the casing off, so now it's just the bare bones receiver. and with that comes some weight reduction, and I also moved everything forwards a lot more so that the plane's not as hard to fly. So I want to get that one back in the air and test the head tracking capabilities, because that should be a really cool plane to fly, and it wasn't quite there yet. So just getting a little updates and just flying the Evos more, because those are probably still my favorite plane to fly at the moment. So getting those Evos back up and working should probably be top priority, but that's something that's in the works as well. Let's see, I've been flying for a little bit, but I think I've been doing a relatively alright job with this gliding. I want to get closer to these light poles, but I also really don't want to hit them for obvious reasons. But if I just circle around, maybe a little rudder action. Where'd they go? But yeah, what else is there? We've got the FT Guinea Pig, which you've flown once. Oh, that's right. We did the Timber X and the FT Guinea Pig in the same video. These huge planes that we have. I think I'm like not moving since it's so windy, which is cool. Whoa. I stalled big time there. But yeah, so the Timber X and FT Guinea Pig, just probably flying those a little bit more, just because they're really cool. And now that it's nice out, it's a lot easier to go and fly when it's 50 or 60 with a little bit of wind, rather than 30s and below, because that's never fun. But yeah, right now it's like I said before, it's about 60 degrees and just a little windy, but it's beautiful out here. And then we have a few new planes that are coming to the channel. We've got the first one's the EC1500 we bought off of a friend who landed it a little bit hard and kind of busted it up, but we bought it off and said, hey, we can fix that up, and we'd love to fly it and get it back to its normal state. So we've had that plane for a while. We haven't fixed it yet, but it is for sure in the works. Just adding everything back to normal, because the motor, one of the motors fell off or got busted off, and the wing's a little chopped up, but nothing that's too difficult to fix up. So we're going to introduce that one to the channel, and I think eventually down the road adding a head tracker, some really fun cameras to capture everything, and eventually I want to do a head tracking ball turret, because you've seen on the old, like the Flying Fortresses, they've got a ball turret that goes either on top or on the bottom, and to have that head tracking with a really small head tracking system that we've talked about a whole bunch, throwing that in the plane somewhere would be awesome, sitting on the top. So at some point, that's the plan, is to throw that on there, either on the EC1500 or on the FT Guinea Pig. But that's the tentative plans there. We also have two more planes that we've had for a little while, haven't introduced yet, but I won't say exactly what they are, but if you remember back a long time ago, one of our night flying, hang on a second, hear people walking. I did hear people walking. A long time ago we were flying, and I think it's the video where we have the Evo with night vision goggles on, which is really funny, but we talked about our favorite planes, and we actually have one of each of those planes, which are two of the most iconic warbirds from World War II. We have versions of those planes which we really want to fly and get out, because they're really, really cool. But for one of them, I bought it off the same guy. I got the EC1500, and it is a little busted, and it is not in flying condition. The rudder is completely torn off, but it is not anything that is too difficult to fix. So I'm really excited to make a video about fixing it all, getting back to its normal out-of-the-box condition, flying it, and then I have tons and tons of plans to add things to this plane. That's going to be really cool. A sneak peek, well, obviously adding FPV and a little camera would be awesome, but adding some custom things to the cockpit and to the wings and to the front of the wings, and I am super excited to get started on that. And if you can't tell, it's a plane that I've been wanting to fly for a really long time, so I'm super excited to finally get my hands on it and start tweaking things and working with it and making it an Inverted Aviators style plane. But I've been flying this battery for quite a while, so I'm going to come in and land here, and we'll swap out and get a new battery going here. See if I can land this one close. All right, kind of close. All right, we'll be back in a second. All right, there we go. So, where did I leave off? We were talking about plans for the future. If another sneak peek of what we're going to do is the video that came out last week, which is turning a old servo into a light switch. That is actually a pretty big sneak peek on things that or how we're going to add things to these new planes that I've been hinting at. But it's something that I found, or I was curious about, because there are LED switches that you can buy, but they are actually kind of expensive at like $10 a pop. And if you want 4 or 5 switches, that adds up pretty quick. So I thought, well, I got a whole bin of servos here that don't work, and I know kind of how they're supposed to function, you know, with the DC motor and all. I wonder if I can make that into a light. So I turned to Google and YouTube and just started looking at how other people have done things like it. And so it was really exciting that it actually worked, and we're going to be adding in a whole bunch of switch controlled lights that should make the experience of flying these planes super, super fun. But I think that's about the direction, or maybe the ideas of what we're going to add to the channel next. If you can imagine, it's a whole lot of plane stuff and a whole lot of RC stuff. But yeah, it's been super fun, and I'm going to do some little aerobatics here. Let's see, make sure I've got all the rates high. I don't know why it doesn't feel, oh, it's because I don't have a lot of airspeed. Inverted Aviator Special. Let's see, where am I? I'm over here? No. I'm over here. There I am. Get a view from this camera. Those are always cool ones when I'm editing, just to see me fly by, just because, I don't know, it's a cool plane flying by, usually pretty slow. So yeah, let's see if I can get nice and close to this thing. Do some pylon turning. So yeah, we've got a whole lot of things coming up, each which take a good bit of time, but we should still be putting out flying videos or how to do stuff videos. But that does remind me, if you guys have any things that you want us to test out or try to do or add to a plane, let us know in the comments or our Discord server, which is where we post a lot of the picture updates on things before it turns into a video. But we love the hobby as a whole, so if you guys want us to do anything, just let us know, because it's always super fun. As I climb here for a while, because this thing's got some pretty good vertical. Spar test. Yep, it's got a spar. And a pretty good spar at that. Man, this is super fun. Again, I've mentioned this in a previous Conscendo flying video. If you're new to the hobby and you want a plane that's super easy to fly and can glide really well and can still be pretty aerobatic, the Conscendo is the plane for you. It is awesome. Or if you're, super experienced in the hobby and you want a cool, fun plane to try, this is also exactly what you need. Let's see, it still doesn't feel like I'm getting the same amount of throw that I normally do. That could be just because I had no throttle, so I didn't have no airspeed. I think it's like the second or third time I've mentioned this exact same thing. Let's see if I can fly low here, which will require some throttle, just so I can stay off the ground. I'm once again flying a glider, not at all like a glider. Big barrel rolls. I don't know what that is, but I'm doing it. Or big rudder turns. Sorry if I made you throw up. You can do even like a reverse loop-de-loop, or a split S, or another split S, or split the uprights, and then also just glide. See if I can just sit here. Getting a little choppy, but nothing too bad. I'm probably, stalling. I could tell I was stalling and not gliding with the wind because I started to shake a whole bunch before I fell. That's my indicator that things are starting to turn a little bit south, so I just punch out of there. Let's see. Do I have flaps? Oh yeah, I have no flaps or anything, just taking it smooth. nice little flyby. Man, I cannot wait for those summer afternoons and evenings where it's 60, 70, 80 and just calm, so I can fly all these new planes we got. I should say new as in quotes. They're all beat up old planes we haven't flown yet, but are for sure not out of the box. But yeah, it should be super fun. That being said, if you guys have planes that are completely broken and you don't think we'll ever fly again, we're considering setting up something where you could send them in and we'll fix them and make a video about them. And that's just an idea we've had. But yeah, it's fixing planes is a super fun part of the hobby that I really enjoy. Fixing them and then adding on things that aren't normal to the plane, like a head tracker in most cases, but adding lights or other things are always super fun too. So just check out our videos on how to fix planes if you had no idea what to do, but if you think it's completely gone, just let us know in our Discord and we can see what we can do to try to help fix it up or give tips or even take it in ourselves and try to fix it. But yeah. I've got a whole bunch of left rudder, as you can hopefully see with this stick cam. I'm just trying to glide straight with this wind, and I think the rudder correction helped it. And then I'm going to go into the wind, which I think the wind's coming from this way. I don't have the windsock cam set up, which is something I should bring back. Just reminded myself of that. But there you go, we got a little inverted flying. Something always fun to work on, especially when it's a tad bit windy. It makes everything just a little harder to figure out. A nice view. This is also a new field. I forget if I mentioned, I probably did, but this is a new field I haven't flown at. I just went into Google Maps and looked for parks and wide open spaces, and I found this really one only a few minutes away from where I live. So it's like 20 minutes away from where I live, but it's still really, really nice and big open fields. And I really like these, like I've said a few times, I like these lights that are right in the way, just because you can fly around them and make it really fun. Let's see if I can bank around, just a good look at them on the way by. Nothing like a UMX Conscendo light inspection. Make sure I don't accidentally whack them. Let's see if I do some low passes. Super smooth like always. I just love how easy this plane glides. It's so satisfying. The only thing I'm curious about is when I throttle all the way down, it wants the nose down, which I think is normal because I don't have any forward propulsion, but if I trim all the way back on the elevator, then I can kind of glide, it kind of flattens itself out. Is that what I want? Like if I fly up high and I just want to glide, should I trim it all the way back and just take it easy? Because I got safe off, so it won't auto level. But I'll give you an example here. I go up high and I just want to fly, and if I take stick off, I dive. But if I trim it all the way back, see, now it's just pulling up by itself. Is that too much? I don't know. It's still just kind of coasting around. I don't have to do anything with the elevator. So is that like preferred? I'm not really sure, because again, I don't really know how to glide the quote correct way. But I mean, it works for me. I don't have to do anything. I can kind of just relax on the stick instead of holding it slightly back the whole time. But is this correct? I know if I start doing acrobatics, I'll pop up like that every time. So with throttle on, I want no trim, but with throttle off, I want a pretty substantial back trim on the elevator. So let me know if that's the correct way, if that's maybe CG. I don't think it is, since there's not a whole lot of space for the battery to go, so I just assume that that's the quote correct way to glide. But so then when I try to throttle up, I've got to hold forward elevator so I don't accidentally just balloon up like that. Oop, that must be my transmitter telling me that the battery's getting low, because there's telemetry from the battery to the transmitter, which is super cool. So I'm going to trim out. I wonder if it'll tell me when trim is centered. Probably not, but that's okay. I'll land it either way. Throw on flaps, which I want to try putting the flaps a little bit more, because I don't think it does a whole lot at the moment. Let's see if I can try to slip with the glider. Have to go around. Probably shouldn't have, because I was pretty close to the ground, but let's try this again.
Mayday, 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 mayday.
There we go. Still a little far away, but that was pretty smooth.